So today is, I don't even know what day it is today. Monday, October 20th. Hey Missy, how you doing? A lot of stuff going on around here at Okies Eden. There, now I'm all fixed up. Here we go. I got my coffee. I got my iced tea. I got Okies, and I got a camera. So very eventful last couple of weeks. I have family here now. They're going down to Texas this morning to spend the day with my daughter and grandkids. I'm unable to go. Home relaxing. Not to get too into it, just to let everybody know what's going on. Good thing, I planned out a bunch of videos, got them in there, so they're in the queue for the next week or two. And I haven't been able to do a live or go outside and walk around much because for the 1 week I had the flu, severe flu, that knocked me down. I came on one day and I watched it later. I was like, man, I can't, I said, I can't do a live when I'm in that condition. So that finally passed. But in the meantime, yes, Carol, I am. In the meantime, I've not struggled, I'm not gonna say struggled, because it's not that much of a struggle. I've had bursitis in my one leg the last 10 years. And it just swells up, gets water in it, no big deal. And I just ice it, heat it. That's what I did 10 years. The doctor told me years ago, ibuprofen, ice heat, day or two, it's gone. It does, it works every time. Because if you're walking like I do, I'm using shovels and stuff and digging in the dirt, push my mower. Eventually, I get a little fluid in my one leg and it makes a lump up near my knee. Well, while I had the flu, it started swelling up. So I've been icing it, heating it, icing it, ibuprofen, and it wasn't getting better. And then by Wednesday, this one lump pulled out away from the rest of the lump. And it was a fluid, which I assumed was water because it was bursitis, which that's how I was treating it. Well, it turns out I ended up going, it turned out to be infection, bad infection. Saturday morning, no, I'm sorry. Saturday, what's today? Monday, Sunday? So Saturday, about 9 p.m., just so you all know, I went to the emergency room. They hacked it open. They drained it all out. They had me in there for a couple hours. I'm on mass doses of different antibiotics, got a shot in the butt. And I just have to keep it clean. I have to drain. They put a drain tube in, so I got to do that in the morning and at night. So I'll do that here in a little while after the live. But I just want to let everybody know I haven't been avoiding people. I've actually been down and down hard. So back up and around today. So I didn't go down to with my daughter will be here Friday with my grandkids. Otherwise I would have went with them, but my leg would have bothered me all day because I need to prop it up. But anyways, here we are at the live, the first live. I wanted to get a live in because I don't know when. I was going to do another one because they're going to be here. But oh, I am, Jane, I'm fine now. It's good. He cleaned it all out. I have the pictures. I mean, it was bad, but I'm not going to post any pictures online because it is. But I got to watch the whole thing. They let me watch. I know, they're like, why would you want to watch? I've watched toe operations on myself. I've watched other things done to me. I watch them stitch my leg up. It doesn't bother me. I think it's kind of cool to watch these guys do their stuff, guys and girls. Anyways, so with that though, what was good about that was being laid up, I was running the TV in the bedroom 24/7 while I was in there. And then if I'm out in the living room, I prop my leg up, I watch out here. Now that my family's going down to see my other family in Texas, I'm alone today. So now I have access to all my TVs again. Thank you, Granny. Thanks, everybody. So I've been running people's playlists on my telephone, my cell phone. I'm old school, so to me it's still a telephone. Thank you, After Dark. So that's where I'm at now. So I had a video of the subscriber garden, and then you'll see in the video that I have like an ace bandage on my leg, and I didn't realize at that point it was infected. So I was trying to limp around and work with that, but you'll see a strap on my band on my leg, and that's my bad leg. Like I said, I'm not complaining. I've been on this earth almost 60 years, never spent a night in the hospital. Only when my wife had our children, when I stayed with her. That's the only time I've ever spent nights in the hospital. With my son, I spent with him when he was in the hospital. I've only been to the emergency room multiple times because I've had puncture wounds in my leg. I've had, my leg was sliced open with a knife, cracked my skull here, had to have stitches. So but I've never spent nights. I just go in, they stitch me up, they see me coming, they know I'm stupid, they know they might as well get the stitch kit out when they see me walking in. With that said, October 28th, I had to cancel with Carol, and I felt so bad from Broke and Bountifully Blessed, because that day I was running 102 fever, my leg was really hurting, and I knew it wouldn't bode well for the live. I've learned, if I'm not going in feeling right, don't do it. So I didn't want to, this helps both of our exposures, and I didn't want to hurt her or myself on YouTube. So with that said, she was kind enough to allow me to change it to October 28th. I believe my family leaves on the 27th. So on the 28th, I can't remember the time, it's 12 or 1 p.m. Carol can correct me if she sees this or hears this. We're doing our collaboration. And then I believe a few weeks later, I might be going on her channel with a collaboration. I can't remember. I've been taking so much stuff, things run together. But then of course, I'm going on with November 3rd with Shannon from Us and Our Bunch. I forget the time on that. She's gonna interview me or something, I guess. So I'm excited about that. I have a couple other people inquiring, but I've been kind of just letting them know, give me a second. Let me regroup here. But October 28th, Broke but Bountifully Blessed. I will try to remember to go back and put it in the description here. And then also on the 3rd is gonna be Shannon from Us and Our Bunch. And I think everybody here probably knows Shannon. Let's see. Oh, so the doctor told me that get up and around. Don't just lay there. You got to get up and around because I have a drain in my leg that's open. So the wounds are open. They slice them, not to get gross, but they slice them. And then they have to push this tool through, grab this drain string, and they pull it through, tie a knot. So once a day I have to pull it through the wound back and forth, and then that keeps it from sticking. And then it drains out both sides around the gauze. But I don't need to get graphic. Anyways, he said, get up and move around. If it feels okay, move, because you want to keep everything moving and your muscles and joint, everything loose. You don't want it to all just keep swelling up. And then he said, then elevate if it feels good. If it doesn't, you don't have to elevate it unless it hurts or you want to. So I do a little bit of both. So yesterday, I went out to my garden for the first time, believe it or not. Okies not in his garden for well over a week. And I have my first, I'm sure Misty will enjoy that. Hey V. She's the one that recommended to me to do Black Beauty zucchini. So this is about 1 foot long. I picked it because I do have some critters out there getting into some of my stuff, so I decided I better pick this before this gets eaten. But that will make that'll make a loaf of banana bread. I got 3 more out there growing. So that is awesome. That's a Black Beauty zucchini. I would have had more, but remember I stepped on one of my plants. I did a video on it, I killed it. Hey Zed. Zed, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I picked this out yesterday. My Black Beauty zucchini. Before my in-laws got here, my family got here for the week until the end of October, I went ahead and made pumpkin bread, zucchini bread, banana bread, corn bread, and then I froze it. And so this is cornbread. I just took out of the freezer this morning and it's thawing. But yeah, I make the cornbread, cut it in half, wrap it in cellophane, freeze it like this, and I stack them up, and I can just pull them out. So we've been having cornbread. I thought my family was going to be here longer into October, and I was going to tape the ghost story, Sasquatch story thing in the garden the other day before I really got laid up. And I was getting ready to do it, and then I said, wait a minute. So I came in and checked my calendar, and they're leaving the 27th. I thought they were leaving like the 30th or something. So instead of taping it and just running it later, I still want it. That was my whole goal originally, was to do a live from the pumpkin patch in the garden at night, telling a couple of the ghost stories that my brothers and sisters had encounters with. And then my friend had an encounter with Sasquatch, supposedly, years ago when I lived up north. And so I'm going to talk about those stories just before Halloween. So I thought that would be pretty cool. But anyways, that's going to be, I think, on the 29th. It'll be in the evening. It's getting dark here. Oh, I don't know what time it's getting dark here now. It's getting dark here like 8 o'clock. So it'll probably be 8:30. I'll start in the garden, and then we can talk a little bit, and then I'll start getting into the stories. And I will give the link to one of the Bigfoot stories that was up 100 feet from my house years ago that I didn't know about till just a short time ago. I was looking up Bigfoot stories from upstate New York, and that one popped up, and I'm like, that's where I lived. So I never saw one up there, so. But anyways, I still have pumpkins growing a lot. So I got a neighbor. I had 3 I didn't want to have to try to get rid of by having people come to the house. So I took those 3, I put them out by the road, and I just put a Facebook Marketplace post, turned the comments off, and I said, hey, there's 3 pumpkins at the end of our road. They're just sitting there. They're either going to be deer food, or if you want them, they're free, come by. About an hour later, my neighbor, her and her husband have a couple of children. They're about a half mile from me. They walk around our loop, and she's in a stroller. They push her in a stroller. And then she sent me a message. I'm not friends with her. I got a message all of a sudden from somebody, and I accepted it, and it was her. And she said, oh, by the way, we took the pumpkins. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. My daughter was excited when she found out there might be pumpkins. And then when we pulled in that road, it's a dirt road, she said she got all excited. So then they put them in the stroller, took them home. So then I have a couple more. I have 2 or 3 turning orange. And so I messaged her back and I said, well, we can do one better. If you and your husband and your kids next week when they're ready, you want to pick them yourself, I'll let you know when they're ready, and you guys can just drive up here, and then I'll let you go right back into the garden, and I'll have the clippers, and then you can help your kids clip their own pumpkins. So she said, that's awesome. So she's excited. I don't think she's told her kids that yet, so in case something happens with them. But yeah, they're going to be here probably probably late this week, and they'll be able to pick their own pumpkins. So she's excited. So I thought that's pretty cool. I still have 2 or 3 more sugar pie pumpkins, and then the rest are Connecticut Field. And then I found out yesterday. Well, I knew I had some baby cantaloupe. There was like 3 or 4 baby ones. But then, since I haven't been out to the garden the last week, when I went out yesterday to pick the zucchini, I checked the cantaloupes. And one is about the size of a softball, one's about the size of a baseball, one's a little bit smaller. But all the fuzz is gone, they're solid, they're heavy, and now they're just growing, and then they'll ripen. So I'll have at least 3 melons. I've never grown melons before. I didn't expect any because when I planted them, it was 100 degrees. They don't like that. But I figured we'll see if I can get 1 or 2, and we did. And I'll grow more next year. So that's pretty much the update. I just wanted to let everybody know Okie is still alive. He's on the mend, he's healing, And he's not gonna run a marathon anytime soon, but everything is doing well. And like I said, I got videos rolling out this whole week and early next week. And then my legs should be fine by then.